Dun, 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 dun. Love and Hip Hop ATL Season 8 Episode 4 Case of the X. Young Jock opens the show with Karlie on his radio show as a guest, and they having their little banter going back and forth, and she ends up telling him about her being a sex therapist and that she's engaged and wants to invite him to the engagement party, even though, they used to be in a relationship in the past. Hey, I want to invite you because we cool. He takes the invitation and he also asks her the question like, are you gonna end up letting people know about your Indian style moves or something freaky that she does? And I was like, why did he say that? But oh well, I haven't listened to his radio show before, so he probably always talks about sex and things like that. And Karlie lets him know that his manager is the one that hooked her up with her now fiance, Arkansas Mo. And young Jock looked like he didn't know that. I would be highly surprised if the manager did not let young Jock know that, the hookup was happening. It's probably actually young Jock that hooked her up with this dude, and he just said, hey, manager, go ahead and act like you the one, but I'm the one. Later, y'all remember last season, young Jock and Karlie was a little bit flirty at that dude ranch. So if they was together for 2 years, what in the world was he doing flirting with Karlie Red? But he also let us know that, he made a few mistakes. He still was being savage out here, messing around and everything like that. So does Kendra know all this? Because she is in love with some young Jock at this point. They in businesses together. They are a unit. And she tired of being in the closet. She want everybody to know that they're a unit. The next scene is Tierra. She over there doing her boxing at this boxing gym, and Akbar V shows up, and I guess they friends, but I don't know how close of friends they are because Akbar V was supposed to give Tierra a little bit of information that she chose not to give. Tierra lets her know that she's throwing a halfway home party for Scrap, and she all like, what you doing? Weren't you just married? Didn't you have a whole nother kid? She was like, what? I love me some Scrap. I want to be with him. He cut his hair off. His hair's all curly, even though she keep calling him ugly ass all the time, but whatever. But she likes everything about Scrap and she wants to be with him. And Akbar V ends up letting us know in the confessional that, she don't think that things is going to go the way Tierra wants it to because Moniece is in the picture. But I'm trying to figure out how come at that time she didn't go ahead and let Tierra know that Scrap is messing with Moniece, because probably if she told her the information, Scrap would not be having a halfway home party, which will be hosted by Tierra. But hey, so I guess her friendship level really flows with Moniece over Tierra at this point. But yeah, Karen, she ends up being with Scrap because Scrap still wants to get information about his dad that she never told him about, saying that he was dead and stuff. And she was all like, I don't really want to talk about that. I really think that you should just go ahead and talk to your dad about it. He was like, oh, okay. But she also lets him know that she really likes Moniece, and she wants them to be together. But then she finds out, but when that finds out, I think Tierra invited her to the halfway home party, and she still thinks that Tierra ain't the one for him, especially due to her getting married to somebody else and whatnot. So, she ain't really feeling the Tierra Scrap situation. And yeah, Karen likes Moniece. Scrappy and Bam, they happy, and she all, fully pregnant. She does look good pregnant. I mean, all the pictures that I've seen, in between time, in the meantime, throughout her pregnancy, she has always looked good. It's funny how some women, they just blow up in pregnancy. But it's like lately, like Cardi B, this Bambi, and these other chicks. I think Tierra, yeah, she look good. A lot of people be looking good pregnant these days. Um, while Scrappy and Bam is talking, at Mama D's house, her phone keeps ringing. Even though we only heard the phone ring one time, she answered the phone, and it is her mother who is stuck being at the Motel 6. And she was like, can you come get me? Come see me. So Bam, in her pregnant state, has to go drive and go pick up her mom and, see what's going on. When she goes to the motel, you know, her and her mom having a conversation, and we find out that Bam doesn't have the best relationship with her mom at present time. Bam felt like she had to raise herself after her father passed away about 15 years ago. And her mother, it seems like she been acting wild, since then, drinking and everything else. And so she really hasn't did done her motherly role in her life, and Bam invited her mother to come visit them while she's pregnant before the baby comes, because she's trying to give her mother a chance to be a mom, you know what I'm saying, so she can be a great grandmother to her son. So when she's getting ready to leave, the mother like, what's going on? She was like, come on, let's get out of here. So the mom takes her bags and they leaving out of that motel, because she was like, you want to stay here? Young Jock alone. Young Jock admits, he been with her for 2 years, but he been playing with other females in between time in that 2 years. And like I said, the dude ranch situation last season, he was trying to flirt around with Karlie Redd. Well, just Karlie now. We end up seeing that this is when the next scene is when we see that Akbar and Moniece, they meet up, they friends. They were introduced through K. Michelle. She had to be mentioned on Love and Hip Hop, even though she's not on Love and Hip Hop. But yeah, the first thing she tells Moniece is that Tierra is throwing a party, a halfway home party for Scrap. And she like, what? How did that happen? Because me and Scrap, I told him that I trust him, that I'm believing in him and stuff like that. We've had relations. Akbar V was like, what, y'all, did that? And she was like, yeah. So she was like, dude, should I be upset? Should I, get a knife? What do I need to do? But it's so funny that Akbar V did not let Tierra know, because it wouldn't even be a halfway home party if Akbar let Tierra know that him and Moniece were having, affiliations. Not that they were sleeping together, because she had just found out when they hooked up at the studio. But her and Moniece, I know Moniece let her know that she was talking to Scrap, and she should have told Tierra, but she didn't. Mama D, she decides that not that she decides, Scrappy wants her to get along with Cece, which is Bam's mom. So Mama D is the first to apologize, because it looked like Cece wasn't going to do it. But at the same time, Mama D let Scrap know that Cece was going to fight her or something like that. So it was still a little bit of back and forth, but Mama D says that she wants things to be great for her grandchild, so she's willing to, get along with Cece if she has to, so that she can be, in the life of her grandchild. Because Scrap says that, hey, if y'all ain't gonna get along, y'all not gonna be around, because we only want positive energies around our child. Because he said, when he was in the relationship with Erica and their child, it wasn't all peaceful and positive, and he doesn't want to go through that again. And Mama D, she know that she was wild with Erica, so I think she's willing to make the change. So Tierra gets to have the halfway home party, because Akbar V did not let her know anything, and they're having a good time. And Scrap lets her feed him a piece of chicken and stuff. That shouldn't have happened. And his brother and a few other people was there, and she ends up giving him a present, and it was a key to her poom poom and a key to her house. And Scrap was like, oh my gosh, what's really going on? He knew that Tierra was wild, but hey, she real wild. But hey, Scrap, if you let her know that you talking to Moniece, none of this would be happening. So it's like, I really am in the belief that Scrap was leading Tierra on, which is wrong. But it ain't got nothing to do with Love and Hip Hop. This is Scrap. Who cares if it's for a storyline or whatnot? Scrap could have acted like the co-parenting style, instead of we cool, we friends, when you know that Tierra is trying to get with you, and the whole time I seen it, she just smiling, just googly eyes. She put all the vibes to Scrap to let him know that she wanted to be with him. And for some reason, he didn't get the hint. He ends up getting a phone call from Moniece because this is the same day that Akbar and Moniece is at the studio. So she outside and he goes out there and be like, oh, I gotta go check on some of my son. He ends up leaving. He didn't even stay for his halfway home party. He didn't even say bye to none of the guests that were there for him. Didn't say nothing to Tierra. He gets in the car and she was all like, you didn't tell me about Tierra throwing your party and stuff like that. He was just like, hey, you ready to leave? They drive off. Karlie, she and her fiance, Arkansas Mo, they are at Piece of Cake so they can start tasting cakes for their, wedding, their engagement party, or whatever. They tasting the cakes, they moaning and groaning because the cakes are so good. And when the cake hostess, leaves to go get some more cakes for them to taste, he mentions that, hey, I see on your radio show that you telling Jock about our engagement. Like, why'd you do that? And, you should have talked to me about it. And Karlie was like, I'm gonna be a bigger woman, because I'm doing better in life. I apologize to you. I should have talked to you about it. Can we move on from this? And he all like, oh, okay. I just appreciate if, we talk about a couple of things. You let me know things. And she like, all right, baby. Scrap, what happened with Scrap? Something happened with Scrap. Oh, not Scrap De Leon. Scrap he takes the Mama D and CC and Bam out for lunch, dinner, whatever the case, and they taking the ride and they end up driving to this house. They like, what restaurant we going to? They go to their new home and they even, he even had their house had their belongings already in the home. And Bam is just so relieved. She know the baby about to come and she was worried that, stuff was going to be rough, but they got their place. They go and see the place, everybody all smiles, and Mama D, she was looking pretty good with clothes on. So, her surgery things that she did, it was good. As long as she has clothes on. I don't like when she half naked. She still look 50 something. But the outfit she had on, I was like, yeah, that was a good surgery that she got. So Scrap ends up letting Cece know that she has a room in their place, and then Mama D gets a little bit upset, even though she has her own house close to where Bam and Scrappy is moving to, because she was all like, this is her plan. She all gonna be all, in the house with y'all, blah blah blah. I don't know why you was worried about it, Mama D. Where is your husband? You should be happy that they out the place. Um, what happens after that? Okay, the last scene is Tierra. She goes to. Oh yeah, because since he left the party and didn't even tell nobody that he was leaving, she ended up having to go pop up. She took her lift to go get dropped off at Scrap's house to go see what's really going on. So she sits with him and she all, still smiling and stuff. She's like, what's going on? You must got somebody else or something. He was all like, yeah, I got a friend. We getting to know each other. She's like, what, are y'all having sex or something? Like, what's really going on? And he was all, acting like, of course, I don't think he was supposed to have to tell his business to her, but hey, she seemed to be all involved. And so she ended up telling her that it was Moniece. And she was like, man, Scrap, you just seem to love to hurt me. And she just hit him hard in his mouth. And the camera people, the producers and stuff stopped Tierra and get her, off of Scrap because she was pissed off. And Scrap said, he can't get in no trouble, so he walked away from the situation. And they end up kicking Tierra out, and she couldn't get back in the crib, and she was left banging on the door looking like a fool. And I kind of feel bad for her because I do feel like Scrap De Leon must have led her on, because I think if he just let her know that he didn't want to be with her, he just wanted to co-parent, she wouldn't be, having keys to her poom poom, having keys to her place, wanting to marry him and stuff like that. Scrap led her on while he was in that jail. When he first was getting out of jail, he led her on somehow, some way. So it looks like next week, Tokyo is going to reveal to us that Tierra didn't just work out to lose that weight. It looks like she had that surgery. And Sierra, she was not trying last season, since she been on the show, she has not discussed that she, got the fat sucked out, put in her booty or anything like that. But Tokyo, she going to let the world know that she got some surgery. So that was Love and Hip Hop, season 8, episode 4. Peace out.